Welcome to CS3 or CS5 Photoshop practice number 1. We're going to be creating our photo collage practice today using Photoshop here. And the first thing we need to do is we need to open some images. So we're going to come over here to the P drive, File Open. We're going to come over to here to Computer. And we're going to go to the P drive. And we are going to go to a folder called Photo Demo Examples. And we're going to open a folder called Photo Collage Sample Images. And now we're going to open our base image, which is a sun forest. And we're also going to open Star's base image. We're going to make sure that we open the JPEG version, so make sure it says JPEG here, and we're going to open. Okay, so we should have two images open. We should have Star's base image and sun forest. So first we're going to go to the Star's base image, which is right here. And we're going to go to Select All. And we're going to see the marching ants going around the image. Okay, so marching ants going around the image. And we're going to go to Edit, and we're going to copy this. And now we're going to go back to Window, and we're going to come back to our sun forest, and we're going to go Edit, Paste. And we're going to paste our little stars over our sun forest. Okay, so we're going to come up here, and we're going to change the opacity to 50%. Alrighty, so that we see our sun forest coming through our stars. Now we need to come up here to number 7, step number 7, which is we're going to go to our Move tool. So we're going to click on our Move tool. And we're going to make sure that Show Transforms Controls is selected so that we see the square going around here. And now we're going to adjust the size of the image so that it's placed over the forest scene. And we're going to click on the corner box right down here, this little corner box. You can see the arrows. And we're going to hold down our Shift key so that we keep this in proper proportion. And we're going to resize the stars over this so that completely covers. And then we're going to move it around a little bit. I'm going to put my bright sun, star like right here where the sun is. I'm going to move that around. I'm going to click my Shift key. I'm going to move this even more. Kind of place my bright sun over the bright star there. I'm going to move this around even more, really making it a lot bigger. Alright, so my bright star goes over my bright sun. So I see a lot of little blue specks. And the star is right over my sun, and I'm going to click. Now I'm going to go Enter. And you'll notice that our layer is now highlighted in blue. Okay, make sure that layer down here is highlighted in blue and you've placed your picture. You always have to click Enter whenever you make a change, okay? Now we're going to come down here to step 3 and we're going to go to Create New Fill or Adjustment Layer. Right down here, which is a half circle, half of it's blue, half of it's white, so make sure you draw that in. We're going to pick black and white. We're going to convert this now. Everything is going to go to black and white. We're going to click on the Layer Mask Thumbnail. We're going to make sure that's selected right here. Okay? And we're going to go and we're going to select a very soft brush. We're going to click on our brush tool, which is right here on the vertical toolbar. Click on our brush tool, make sure our brush tool is selected, and we're going to change our brush size to 1100. So we're going to go all the way up to like 1100 by sliding this across, or we can use our bracket key and go up to 1100 as well. We're going to make sure our foreground is set to black and our background is set to white. And we're going to do something brand new. We're going to set the opacity of our brush right up here on the horizontal toolbar. This is very important, okay? I can't stress this enough. You need to make sure that you do it on the horizontal toolbar. You're going to select that down to 50%, okay? Now we're going to go back in with our paintbrush, and we're going to remove the area you do not want in black and white. You will see that the layer mask thumbnail starts to get dark in the areas that it has been removed. So I'm going to gradually remove some of this black and white so that it kind of gradually blends into black and white. So the bottom part of the image is in black and white, the top part of the image is in color. Okay, so if you look at our little thumbnail down here, we can see that it's getting very black up here in the corner. It's gray in the middle, and it's very white on the very bottom left corner. Now we're going to come down here to step 3. We're going to open the planet image. It's in the same folder. So we're going to go to File, Open. We're going to open, the planet image. It says Planet. And we're going to say Open. Okay, now using our quick selection tool, our quick selection tool is right over here on our vertical toolbar. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 tools down on our vertical toolbar. Using our quick selection tool, we are going to use this one right here, the Add to Selection. So draw that in on the line provided. The Add to Selection. I want you to select the planets within the image. Use the Refine Edges located along the horizontal toolbar to perfect your selection and make it clean and soft. Okay? So let's come over here, and I want you to change our brush size to about 45, and want you to select the planet. Alrighty, so you should see the marching lines all around your planet here. Okay, don't worry about this sun here. Just select the 2 planets and come up to Refine Edge. Now we're going to check our selection out. We're going to change the radius a little bit. We're going to smooth it out. We're going to feather it a little bit. We're going to make it a little bit more contrasty, maybe feather it a little more. We want a nice smooth selection around our planet, and we're going to say OK. Now we're going to come over here to Edit, Copy, and we're going to go back to our Sun Forest image. So we have to go back to Window, Sun Forest, and we're going to go back to Edit, Paste. So now you've got this gigantic planet that we have to resize. So come over here to our Move tool, make sure our Show Transform Controls is selected, and we're going to go over here to this little square on the corner. We're going to hold down our Shift key, and we're going to resize this, make it smaller, and we're going to put it in here somewhere, maybe right about there. Maybe I want to change the angle of it so that the sun is on the outside. Okay, right here, this is our sun source, right? So we want the sun light to light this edge here of our planet, so we're going to need to rotate our planet. You see that? See how we're rotating? We're rotating our planet. Alrighty, great. Now we need to set it. Okay, so we're going to go Enter. And when you do that, you'll notice that this little layer jumps. It just kind of moves all of a sudden. And what it's doing is it's just setting it in place. Okay? So now we're going to go on and we're going to... Now, I want you to turn the page, and you're going to see a little line here, and it says it says that you want to keep it in proportion, right? And then after you've placed it and you put it in proportion, you're going to see these little corners, and you're going to rotate at the corners. You're going to see like a little arrow tool, okay? See that little arrow tool right here? That's what moves this, okay? So we're moving this. And then it says, do not forget to hit the Enter to place, okay, which is what we just did a minute ago. Now we're going to come over here to step 4. And we're going to add a layer style to this. So we're going to double click on the layer. And we're going to pull up our layer style. We're going to double click on the layer that's blue. We don't want to double click on here. We don't want to double click on the thumbnail. We want to double click in the blue area to pull up our layer styles. And we're going to click on outer glow. Okay, so we're going to double click on outer glow, and look what happens to the planet. We have like a little yellow line around the edge. We're going to spread that out, and we're going to change the size of that, and we're going to adjust the opacity, and we're going to make it so we like the way it looks. And once we like the way it looks, then we're going to say OK. Alrighty, now we're going to come over here, and we're going to go to step 5. We're going to go to File, Open. We're going to open our sun image. Go ahead and open our sun image. And now we're going to use our quick selection tool to select our sun. Quick selection tool is 4 tools down on the vertical toolbar. We're going to select Add to Selection, and we're going to just start going around here. We're going to select all of our sun very carefully in a swooping motion. We just want to swoop around like as if you were drawing around the surface of the sun. Alright, just kind of in a swooping motion. Select all of our sun. And then let's come over here to refine edges. Oh, that looks pretty bad. Let's fix our radius. Let's smooth it out a little bit. Let's feather it a little bit. Let's contrast it a little bit. Feather it a little more. Maybe a little more contrast. Smooth it a little more. And then once we like it, we're going to say OK. Now we're going to come back to Edit, Copy, go back to our sun forest image, which is where we're putting everything. And we're going to go Edit, Paste. And again, we need to resize our planet Earth. So come over here, click on our planet Earth. Did I say planet Earth? No, we need to resize our sun. So our sun is huge. So come back here to the sun and go ahead and hold down your Shift key and let's make it super, super small. Okay, I'm going to make it super, super small, and I'm going to move it over here, and I'm actually going to put it right here behind the tree. Okay, right behind the tree. I'm going to place it. Okay, so make sure you click Enter because you've now changed the size of it and you've moved it. So you have to always click Enter. You can rotate the corners if you want to already. Click Enter, and it's hiding. It's going to be right in front of that tree trunk. Okay. Now we're going to add a layer mask to this. Remember the layer mask tool? It's right down here at the bottom of our layers dialog box. It looks like a square, a gray square with a white circle in it. We're going to add a layer mask to that. We're going to come over here to our brush tool, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tools down on our vertical toolbar. Make sure we have a very small brush. So we're going to use our bracket tool to make a very small brush. Okay. We're going to make sure that we have black on top, white on bottom, and we are going to crop into this. So we're going to go Control plus, Control plus, Control plus. We're going to use our little navigator to get around here. We're going to go to Window, make sure our little navigator is open here, and we are going to bring this right up to the top like this. Okay, so Window, Navigator. Make sure a little check is on that, alright? And we're going to bring this right up to the top here, and this is where we're at. Okay, so we're going to click on our thumbnail here. Here's our little thumbnail. Okay, and we're going to go in with our brush. Remember, brush tool, black on top, white on bottom, and we are going to adjust the opacity of our planet to like much lighter so that we can see the tree behind it. Okay, we're going to make our brush even smaller, and I am going to remove. I need to undo that. Go back to history because I started painting on it on accident. So you don't want to do that, okay? You don't want to accidentally start painting on it. So make sure you click your little layer mask thumbnail here. Okay, so click on your little layer mask thumbnail and go in, and now we're going to remove all of the sun off the tree trunk. Okay, and you might want to make your opacity about 100 to kind of check to see how that looks. Okay, it's not looking quite good enough yet, so I'm going to keep removing it. And when I get all of the planet removed, then I'm going to change this opacity back to 100%. And I'm going to go Control minus, Control minus, Control minus, and what do you know? My sun is hiding behind my tree trunk. Okay, that looks nice. Now you're going to save your work. If you reach the end of the period, you need to make sure that you save your work in the P folder under your name. So you're going to come here, over here, and you're going to File, Save As, and you are going to come back to the P drive right here, P drive. You're going to find your name, Christina Salinas, and I am going to title this Sun Forest. Make sure I have PSD selected. Okay, PSD is selected, and I'm going to save this, and I'm going to say OK. And now I have this in my folder because this is going to be graded in class today. This is a one-day project. You're going to do this all in one day, okay? But you want to save it in that folder so I can grade it. If for some reason you don't get done with this, then you'll have to finish it the next class, okay? So that's why it's very important that you save it. And you are done.